Today marks 8 days until Election Day, and this afternoon, Georgia crossed the threshold of more than 3 million ballots cast. According to the Secretary of State's office, that means 1 out of every 3 active voters have cast their ballot. But as Georgia voters show up in big numbers, there are still some voters waiting to be part of that early push. Maggie Fitzgerald joins us in studio with more.
Lori, with the advent of absentee ballots, voting has become a bit easier for Carlisle Place residents Harley and Ann Mia. They've been married for 54 years and have lived in Macon at the Macon retirement community for the past 12 years. But this year, their mailbox is turning up empty.
3 weeks since they mailed out the ballots.
And for Ann Mia, she fears it may be another 3 weeks before she and her husband Harley receive their mail-in ballots.
What can you do about being basically disenfranchised? There's nothing that can be done.
While Ann lives in the independent section of the living community, Harley is supported through dependent care while suffering from Parkinson's. Originally from Argentina, he's been voting in every election since he became a U.S. citizen in 1968.
If I could help the problem, which is a bigger one than just the election, is the post office, I would push him to Northway. That's our polling place.
Wheeling to the polls is not an option she thought she would ever consider, but Ann says she has a hard time helping her husband in and out of the car. They filled out the paperwork in August and called the elections office to follow up. They say other residents are facing the same issue. Ann says at least one wheelchair-bound resident has opted to pay for a service to transport himself to the polls this week.
I'm very unhappy that he can't, because he has done that every year, every election, and he has studied the people. It's almost embarrassing for me that he works, because I'm sure there's people that can't walk or whatever to their polling place.
But I'm 90, so what can you expect from 90 years? I want to vote once more.
And Ann says their community has shuttles that take residents to doctor's appointments, so she's planning to talk with management tomorrow to try to get residents bused to voting locations. Lori, back to you.
Thank you, Maggie. If you have received your absentee ballot, it must be in the hands of election workers by 7 p.m. on election night.